Esports, or electronic sports, is essentially video gaming. Mostly team sports. There's no individual sports with it, or individual games. It's just team sports or team video games. It's actually really exciting. I coach a lot of sports. I have coached a lot of sports over the last few years, especially for my own kids. And a lot of the dynamics with it kind of go back to that. You have the team play, you have the strategy, you have a lot of things that you see in traditional sports, you're going to see in esports. And we're finding that out now. And it's a process. So are we going to be perfect this year? No, we're kind of just going through it and doing our best. Yeah, so the main concept of it is you have a map. Typically it's a symmetrical map, so you'll have a base for each team, and then it'll have typically 3 lanes, they call them. So top, bottom, mid, or whatever, they'll call the names for them. And then what happens is along those lanes, each one has, and then it kind of meets in the middle, there's turrets that belong to your base, and they're controlled by the computer, they're not controlled by you. And they have a specific range. So if the other team gets within range of your turrets or vice versa, they'll shoot them down. And then along the way, your base keeps outputting, they call them minions. They're like these little characters that kind of march along, and they just keep pumping them out for the whole game. And what'll happen is they'll meet in the middle, and they'll just cancel each other out. They'll fight each other and cancel each other out. Now, what the players do now is they'll go into the lanes and try to tip the advantage. And so they'll fight back their minions, and then your minions keep coming. And so what'll happen is if you fight them back on a specific lane, those minions and your characters will take out turrets. And then as you take out the turrets, then you get closer to their base, and then you obviously can take the base. That. And there's a lot more strategy involved in that too, like which lane you're going to go. In between the lanes, there's some hidden areas with jungles. There's some NPCs, non-playing characters, like AI-based characters that you can fight to get some extra boosts. And then it's always about how much gold. So when you fight or kill minions, you get gold, and then you have to go back to your base periodically. Either by dying or running back to your base to gather more equipment. So it's a pretty complicated game, but a lot of cool strategy involved in it.
Now, on to Rocket League. Rocket League, put simply, is rocket-powered car soccer. The player controls their own car in third person, where they can make aerial plays on the ball as well as team-based pass plays. In a competitive scene, such as the one Play Versus provides, 2 teams of 3 face off and work together to outscore their opponents. The preferred way to play Rocket League is with a controller, but you can use a keyboard and mouse as well. Our very own Kian Windas on our Mountain Vista Rocket League team plays with a keyboard and mouse and is ranked top 100 in the world. That would be top 100 among Rocket League's massive player base of 50 million. Rocket League is a very team-oriented game, where you progressively get better and rank up. Competitively, ranking starts at bronze, and as your skill level increases, so will your rank. The highest rank would be Grand Champion, which a pro-level player would be at. The pro scene for Rocket League is popular among professional esports, averaging 50 to 100,000 concurrent viewers for tournaments. Play Versus is bringing competitive esports to a high school scene, making this genre more serious than ever.
by our administration talking about the CHSAA pilot program. CHSAA just started a pilot program for esports this year, and they're working with Play Versus, which is the organization that's running it, to do the pilot, to see if it's a viable thing for Colorado. And so we decided to jump on it and see how we do. What it is kind of a management system. And so it puts all the teams together. Students log in. I'm set up as a coach in the software on the website. Players are listed. You can accept them or deny them to the teams, and then it gives you a place to organize and place the teams, name the teams, and then it also sets up a schedule, and then it applies the codes to it. So, for example, like on Tuesday, our League of Legends team played. It gives you a countdown till 4 o'clock, and then when that countdown hits, the codes are released, and the students, while they're logged in, can get the codes. They paste the codes into their League of Legends game, and it puts them into a lobby with the other team. And so it's kind of cool. The kids can chat back and forth with the other teams, kind of get to know them before the game, and then they start from there. So it's more of a management tool, Play Versus. So there's a state tournament with a state champion, and then I believe from there, because Play Versus is nationwide, there's tons of teams all over the country. You'll have a regional playoff and then a nationwide, so you could have a national champion on it, which is pretty